Americans need to start taking some fucking responsibility for themselves. We're the fattest people on Earth.
On Earth?
On Earth. The military can't find recruits anymore because their kids are too fat. Please do not send us hate mail. We are not fatphobic. We are not body shaming anyone.
Absolutely not. However,
but we are always going to give it to you 100. And this needs to be fucking addressed.
All right, then.
All right, Charles, I'm going to let you in on this. A few days ago, there's an online blogger, Jae'lynn Chaney. She's very famous.
Okay.
She's a larger woman who travels, and she blogs about traveling as an overweight person.
Okay.
She has started a petition demanding that the FAA mandate policies for the airlines on people of size. Basically, if you're traveling overseas, you have to buy 2 seats if you take up 2 seats. She doesn't like that. They think they should have a really wide seat or several really wide seats designated for people of size.
But they're still going to cost the same as 2 seats because they still take up the same amount of space, don't they?
That's part of the petition, that they shouldn't be charged twice as much.
Okay.
So, here's my take on it is this. I'm all for body positivity and acceptance of yourself. You are as God made you if you're into that shit. I don't, but you are whatever you're supposed to be. Your lifestyle is going to have a big impact on that. But,
right.
Let's say this example. Okay, Charles decides he's going to take his beautiful wife out for dinner, and they go to a restaurant, and they go through the menu. And Dawn goes through and she says, yo, the chicken and penne, I'll have that. And Charles is like, that sounds really tasty. I'm going to do the same. And the waiter brings the 2 chicken and pennes. And Dawn gets like halfway through. She's like, oof. She says, I'm going to take the rest with me. I just get a doggy bag. I can't finish this. And Charles has destroyed his. And realizes he's still hungry. Waiter, I'm going to need you to bring me another chicken and penne free of charge because I was unsatisfied with the portion size. You needed a second portion because Dawn is a normal-sized human. The 200-something pound power lifter is going to need more calories. You're going to be expected to pay for that extra plate of food.
Yes.
Why is this different?
That is a really good question. I don't know. I mean, you know what else I'm going to throw out there is the fact that we now look at things like planes and cell phones and stuff, and we get frustrated and aggravated with them because they don't do exactly the thing that we want them to do without realizing. You realize every time you make a phone call, it's like shooting out into outer space and then coming back within milliseconds. And you're like, no, it's too slow.
That's not good enough for you.
There's a tin can with wings that travels 600 miles an hour to get you to your destination. It's uncomfortable. I don't really like this very much. Frickin' walk! Drive your car. You don't have to ride this plane.
The reality is, airplane seats have been getting incrementally smaller for years because they want to cram more people in there.
Right. And
Americans have been getting incrementally fatter.
Yes. Those graphs probably go like perfectly parallel with each other too.
My fear, the American Medical Association just made this push to classify obesity as a disease. And I thought, that's odd. For some people, there's some genetic factors. But for most people in America, it's lifestyle. Let's be frank.
Yeah, it's McDonald's every day for every meal.
Why would the AMA categorize this as a disease? Oh, so they can sell you Ozempic and insurance companies have to pay for it. Oh. That's why they classified it as a fucking disease.
That's clever.
And what made me more angry, we just got out of the lockdown. During the lockdown, when people are dying left and right, I don't care if you believe it or not or think it was a fucking fit. Fuck you, 1 million Americans are dead. We heard, wear a mask, get vaccinated, social distancing, lockdown, all that shit. We never heard, go for a walk. Eat 1 hamburger instead of 4. Drop a couple lbs. This virus is killing primarily people with multiple morbidities. Fat, breathing problems. Drop a couple pounds. Make yourself healthier, and you won't croak. Not a peep was said about that.
I want to find... All right, you might have to do some editing, see if you can find this article, and you can flash it up there. But I remember this article of a crematorium that burst into flames. Like the whole crematorium caught fire, and because somebody they put in there was so overweight. And I never thought of it, but it was just it was a grease fire is what it was.
Yeah.
All the grease and stuff came down, and it caught the crematorium on fire.
The manager says the worker took all the right steps, but because this particular situation involved a 500-pound body, things took an unexpected turn.
That's awful and yet hilarious at the same time.
Yes. I was like, wow, I never thought of it that way, but
I mean, I guess the broader issue is the one of fat acceptance.
Yeah.
And it's a thin line because you don't want anybody to be ridiculed or teased or made to feel bad about none of that shit.
No, you want people to feel good about themselves, and I totally get that. I do want people to feel good about themselves, to not feel, so ashamed of themselves that they don't want to be seen in public or they don't want to take their shirts off. I mean, come on, that's bullshit. We're all people. It's fine. However,
at the same time, this woman is going to die earlier than she should because of her lifestyle and her size.
Yeah.
She's going to die earlier. I mean, she's big. She's dangerously obese. Her health is at stake.
Yes.
It's not to say she's beautiful, she's not beautiful. Everybody has their own thing that they find beautiful. She's unhealthy and she's going to die.
But this also goes hand in hand with another big problem that I've been seeing in the U.S., which is I don't have to change. The world has to change. Everybody has to change around me. It is not my fault. It's not me.
And that's great, but if we live in a world...
Not everybody can do that. You can't have everybody saying that I'm the chosen one. Everybody saying it's me, and everybody else has to go around.
1/3 in the United States, it's 1/3 of our money goes to healthcare, Medicare, Medicaid. I don't know what the numbers are for private insurance, but it's obviously massive. At what point is everybody paying into this insurance system? At what point do we say this is bullshit? You can't just eat 6 Pizza Huts every night and drink beer and be slovenly and lead a sedentary life and weigh 400 pounds and go to the ER every fucking week before I decide I'm not fucking paying for this anymore. You're hogging up all the fucking healthcare. And if you weigh 400 pounds, it's pretty easy to lose 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Just do the opposite of what you've been doing. Tiny little... I'm going to do another vid on tiny little easy lifestyle changes you can incorporate today.
Very incremental.
Small, barely noticeable
throw this one in there because this one is huge. I have a friend who he'd gotten sick and he had to get put on some medication, and the medication caused him to gain a lot of weight.
Was it Andy?
No.
Surprisingly, somebody else with health problems.
Somebody else with health problems. And it was very noticeable. He had gained a lot of weight. And it was really hard on him. He got kind of depressed from it, which meant he needed more medication. It was just a whole cycle. I hadn't seen him for a few years, and when I saw him, I noticed he'd slimmed down quite a bit. He'd lost a lot of that weight. And I asked him how, because I was really curious. I wanted to know, hi, how'd you do? You look great. And he says, I started walking. That's it.
Yeah.
It was the only change that he made, is he just made himself get up every day and just go for a walk. He just started with just like quarter mile. Next thing you know, he was walking a mile, and then he was walking 2, but he was just walk. He'd put his headphones on and walk.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
2 hours a week. 2 hours a week, not a day.
Yeah.
Go walk for 2 hours a week, and you will drop lbs.
Yep. That's all it took.
So, I don't know where we
consume
find that
less, move more.
Yeah,
that's the secret formula.
And you can't go to fucking Burger King and order 3 fucking fucking Whoppers.
I want the Whopper with the 8 patties
ocho,
in it,
yeah.
and the ocho.
I understand how hypocritical that sounds, because at our local Red Lobster, there's still the Mike Special. Depending on what waiter is there. It's the surf and turf and turf.
Oh, that's
it's
fantastic.
2 Admiral feasts back to back. But at the same time, I have an understanding of balance, because if I let myself go, I'm guilty. I'd hit 300 pounds very quickly.
Oh yes, I absolutely have those tendencies. I will
I'd love
myself
to eat bad
into
food.
oblivion.
I love junk food. I'm aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me, there's something very compelling about, wow, really? I could eat myself to death by 50? That sounds cool in many ways.
And it's even more compelling now because I could do it on Instagram and have so many followers. They love to watch that mukbang stuff.
Yeah.
I could do that. I could just fill a counter full of crap and eat it.
So for the next 4 years, I can eat like a pig, anything I want, and I'll just die, and I don't have to do this shit anymore. That sounds fucking great.
Awesome. Nikocado avocado, we're coming for you.
But in the real world, as it starts coming closer to that end date, you don't want to die.
No.
Even though,
and you're just like,
deep inside, we really do, but you don't really, you don't really want to. This is another issue entirely.
Yeah.
I guess really what I'm trying to say is Americans need to start taking some fucking responsibility for themselves. We're the fattest people on Earth.
On Earth.
On Earth. The military can't find recruits anymore because their kids are too fat. Our kids are too fat. They can't pass the PT test.
Well, then there's going to be another petition about how we have to lower the PT test standards so that, more of these larger kids can get in.
And a third of our money goes to healthcare. How long before that becomes 2/3? This is not sustainable.
It is
This is not a sustainable way for a nation. And we're exporting this shit lifestyle. Chinese people are getting fucking fat now.
Because now they have a McDonald's.
Because, I want to live like Americans. That's an awesome lifestyle. I want that for... It's not.
Supersize it.
The Chinese pastoral system was a lot fucking better and healthier.
Yes.
Anyway.
I think, Japan is still healthier because they're like, I'm not eating American food. No. Here's McDonald's. Yeah, take that out, put some raw fish in there and some rice, and then I'll think about it. And it's like their food is totally different. Even the stuff that should be recognizable is not recognizable.
Chop seaweed. Yeah. Take a salmon. Squirt semen on seaweed. Bring it to me. All right.
Well, you know what to do. Leave some comments or your hate mail or whatever it is that you're going to leave down below. I want to know your thoughts on this, on this whole thing that we talked about. Where do you stand on this?
I just don't want people to eat themselves to death. You don't have to.
No.
You don't have to. And the instant you decide to make that change, you've moved into a different group of people.
Yeah.
You're one of us now. You're health conscious. Come on into the fold. It's good over here.
You can go too far. There is that dude that I wish I knew who he was. I heard about him on some radio show. They were talking about him, how he does all this crazy stuff. He puts some kind of sensor on his dong every night to measure how many times he gets erections every night. And he injects himself with the blood of his 17-year-old son so that he can have healthy young blood. And then he only eats kelp. And it's just insane. You can go too far. That is too far.
Sounds like a stupid movie plot.
That is no.
No, like anything else, life is about balance.
Yeah.
And Jae'lynn Chaney is out of balance. She's out of balance. Not because she's dumb or lazy or any of that shit. No. Because that's all she knows. That's all she knows. And because culture has now taught her, you're perfect the way you are. You very well may be, but you're not healthy. And there's no need for you to die in 10 years.
Oh, I didn't know.
You can live another 30 or 40.
I didn't notice people were responding to her and commenting. Was anything good, or did you look at these?
So I have to take a nap on the plane. I need 2 seats.
Hey, also, when you go and get your ticket, there is no checkbox for "Are you a fat fuck?" You don't have. Oh. So, are they going to add that, or do you have to actually? What's your sex? What's your race? What's your weight? And if you type in a weight that's too high, does it then say, "Oop, you need 2 tickets now"? Or how the hell does that work exactly?
I'm not sure, but I think on an international flight, it does ask, "Do you have any special health requirements?" I'm in a wheelchair.
Right.
I have a walker, so I need help getting up and down the aisle. I'm overweight. I need 2 seats. Or when you get to the checkup counter, they're going to look at you and be like, "Oh, you're going to get a manager on aisle 15?" Sir, as you can see, this person is extraordinarily fat, and they may require a second seat.
Sir, I've just been informed that you are extraordinarily fat and may need 2 seats. Is this true?
But my luggage weighs 57 pounds instead of 55 pounds. I got to pay an extra $80 for that. My extra boots are going to take this bird into the ocean. But the guy behind me that weighs 600 pounds, no problem there.
He's good.
Fuck.
I do not understand how planes work. Maybe somebody who understands how an airplane works can comment below too. I don't understand it.
Thrust and lift versus drag. That's it.
I guess. I mean, weight has something to do with it, right?
Yes, quite a bit.
Okay, that's so.
Quite a bit. Anyway, I'm not sure that overhauling the entire U.S. travel industry is the right way.
That's probably not the right answer.
We're missing the
No.
larger picture that we are sick, unhealthy people. And we have to change that or we're not going to make it.
Yeah, Dove soap. What the hell?
Now, when are we putting that up?
I don't know. We got to put that up. I'll put it right next to this one, I think.
Shit, we are going to get hate mail. All right. Dick subscribe.
We're going to have an episode called You Fat and another one called God Damn It, You Fat.
And then next will be my easy hacks you can start right away.
All you have to do is sign up for Mike's coaching. It's $19.99 a month for it. I will see you in another episode later.